This is Tiny Love, and I'm here with King Uprock, and we're gonna get a whole bunch of history on King Uprock, his dance story, and a lot of old school rock history that a lot of cats want to know, right? So this is King Uprock right here. We win the Uprock Mobile near King Uprock, and we're gonna have a very long interview with everything. I'm gonna try to touch up on everything. All right, so take it away, King Uprock. Can you tell me like when and how you started uprocking and some of your history, you know?
Well, I started Uprock in 1973, and the reason why I know I started in 1973 because that's the same year Bruce Lee died, and I was about 10 years old. And I used to always watch the Devil Rebels that live on my block, you know, the rebels like, you know, Apache, Shorty and Angel, Eddie, Big Tito, you know. So I used to watch them Uprock. And, you know, as a little kid, you know, we don't know, it looked like it was fighting. I used to do martial arts and stuff like that. So I kind of liked it, but then my older brother told me that was like a dance, you know. And I used to always go home and try to mimic them and do it. So one day, the guys were dancing, and my brother told Tito, Big T, yo, my brother danced that same thing. He practiced every day. He's practicing that dance. And they said, yeah. He goes, yeah, I bet you he could do it better than you guys, because I'm telling you now, he loves that dance. So one day my brother called me outside and told me, yo, do the dance that you see them doing, you know, and then you do the same thing. So I went out there, I started dancing. They put music on, I started dancing. And they were like, oh man, that's dope, Shorty. Yo, you're gonna be a good rocker, man. You rock, man. You burn, man. That's the way you do things, man. You keep it up, you'll be the best one day, you know? So I just kept on doing it and doing it and doing it. And then when I got like a little older, I made my own crew, Mysterious Rockers.
Oh yeah.
And then after that, a couple months later, we battled Nasty Rockers.
Who was in Mysterious Rockers?
Well, it was me, a guy named Roland, a guy George, and his brother, and another guy named Andrew that lived on the block on Madison. I used to live, you know, I grew up on Cornelia, but then I moved to Madison Street. And then I taught those guys how to rock. And then George, from that lived next door to me, he had a cousin that came from California. And it was like 1976, 77. And his cousin used to come spend the summer with him. So he told me, he said, listen, I like the way you dance, man, but we do a thing called boogalooing. And I said, boogaloo, what's that? And he showed me what it was, and I said, oh, I see that on Soul Trains, you know, and stuff like that. So
yeah.
what he did was he showed me how to pop, which is popping now, you know, and I show him how to rock, you know. But I don't know if to this day if he still rocks or anything, you know. But we were younger, and I was, you know, I was a little older than those guys, you know, and I kept on doing that, and I watched like Michael Jackson doing, you know, dancing to the dancing machine, doing the robot and all that. So I used to mimic Michael Jackson 5 because I was a Jackson 5, you know, dancer. Kept rocking. We beat Nasty Rockers.
Oh yeah.
And I joined Dynasty, you know, and from Dynasty on, we kept taking over, you know.
What I want to ask you, I heard that you were born in the Bronx, right?
Yeah, I was born in the Bronx. I was born on Tiffany Street in the South Bronx, and I moved to Brooklyn in 1969.
Oh,
you know, so
okay.
I was about 5 years old. And
where in Brooklyn? Like,
well, I grew up where I moved from the Bronx. I moved to Bushwick, Brooklyn. I never. That's the only place I lived in all my life was Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I grew up in Bushwick, and like I said, that's where I learned how to rock. That's where I learned how to do a lot of things, you know. So basically, that was my foundation and my place of home where I grew up.
Back then, when you first started rocking, which were like the original rockers that you liked, that influenced you, you know?
Well, you had guys like the original Rubber Band, who is one of the creators of rocking.
So you saw him, right?
I saw him at Knickerbocker Park.
Oh, and yeah.
I was with some of the guys because we used to play handball there, and they told me, yo, that guy right there is Rubber Band. And I saw him like dancing once, and you know, I saw him dancing. I was like, wow, that guy's good, you know. But like, I never danced against him. I didn't really know Rubber Band as going out there. They're like, yo, what's up, Rubber Band? How you doing? You know, I was a little younger than the guys who knew him. And what everybody talked about him when I saw him in Knickerbocker Park, I was like, oh, man, that's Rubber Band. And it was like, wow, man, you know. And, you know, after a while, you know, you in the park, you say, what's up, what's up, what's up, you know. But we wasn't like close friends, you know. But I knew, like, Little Dave was a good rocker. I think Papo and JR, you know, they were good routines. You know, Carlos from Dynasty, Danny Boy from Dynasty. Then you have Buzz from Touch of Rock. And then you had Rocky Nelson from the MTC Jitterbugs, you know, and Chino. Those guys were dope. You know what I'm saying? Leo from Rock with Class. He was, you know, he was dope. Eddie Ed, Disco Eddie from the Disco Rockers. You know, there was a lot of good rockers back then, you know. And as I kept growing up, rocking and dancing against certain people, I had to prepare myself to dance against all these guys because I knew some of them were older than me and some had more, you know, had more experience. But I kept watching them as much as I kept going to every jam watching them, so that I went home and practiced, so that one day if I ever battled them, I'll beat them. You know, they didn't practice for me. I practiced for them because they looked at me like, oh, he's a new guy. You know, he ain't, you know, he's nothing. You know, but me, I looked at it and I wanted something they had, so I had to go home and practice every day. And basically, 1980, when they had the rock contest, Little Dennis, rest in peace, he threw a rock contest to see who's the best rocker. I won. So that was it. I became King Uprock.
So when you first started rocking, what did you learn first? Like jerks, freestyle, burning?
Well, basically all the people who danced back then was doing jerks.
Yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't, not made too many people freestyle. It was more burning. Everybody was trying to burn each other. You know? That's why if you ask any of the old school guys that either from a little bit, you know, under me or above me, they would tell you that I became a great burner because, you know, as a great fighter, and I used to like fighting, it was more of a defense, you know, for me. So I had to learn how to burn. And then years later on, when I started burning, and Papo and JR used to do, they were great in freestyle, and Clarky and all those guys, and Professor and Pucho and those guys, I had to learn how to freestyle. And Manny from Dynasty told me, yo, you're a good burner, but you gotta learn how to dance, because when you dance these old guys, they're gonna outdance you. You might outburn them, but they're gonna outdance you. And you know what? And if you don't know how to play your game right, they're gonna roast you. So I started to freestyle. Started learning freestyle, and then
but freestyle came later on.
No, freestyle was there, but it was more people who only like burning. You know, it's like b-boys. People see other countries, see b-boy, and they like only head spins, and they don't learn the footwork, the top rock, or they only want to learn power. You know, I want to just do windmills. I want to do head spins. They don't want to do footwork and freezes, and you know, like the basic of b-boy. You know, so if you're not gonna learn the basic, then you know it's like you need to learn that basic. And I didn't have the freestyle basic. But you know, my mother's a great dancer, and I used to tell my mother that, you know, this dance is this is the way it is, and I explained to her, and she showed me a little bit of salsa, and I converted into freestyle, in which I became a better dancer.
Okay, wow. And what I want to ask you, what gangs were on, what gangs you saw in Brooklyn and like around you, and you know, which gangs that you seen back then that were rocking?
Well, the Devil Rebels is one of them. The Dirty Ones used to rock. I know that I've been to Williamsburg with the Dirty Ones. I seen some of them rock because I used to teach and do routines with Down to Rock at the 104. It was like it was a clubhouse, and we did routines with CNR. You know, he was a leader of Down to Rock, which his name is Carlos, and Peebles, and it was me and my partner Lucan. You know, we had a 4-man routine. I seen Dirty Ones and the Crazy Ones. They rock, you know, and they used to have.
They used to have routines too.
Well, not routine. They was more of, like I said, burning. They were, you know, everybody was burning. You know, unless they had a contest, Crazy Rock through a freestyle routine contest, is where you see routines.